Take two. I am Jamie. I am an avid reader, and I have been a part of the BookTube community for a while now. I have not created any content as of yet, but I've watched many BookTube videos, and about a year ago or longer, I was getting waffling back and forth of whether I should do a BookTube channel, and I decided that I would and see how it goes. I know there's going to be haters out there, whatever, saying you shouldn't be reading what you're reading or whatever. But honestly, I really could care less. I enjoy what I read, even if it's not for somebody else. It's okay for me. So, this is going to be all kinds of genres all across the board: adult content, children's content, middle grade, everything, and anything in between. My first venture into YouTube began about, I want to say, somewhere around 2003, maybe, something like that, when I got my first modern computer. I had a computer before that in 94, but it wasn't fast enough to do streaming and all that good stuff that we do today. So anyway, my first foray into internet and streaming capabilities and things came in 2003 when I bought a Sony Vaio laptop for $2,000 cash. Um, and needless to say, somebody wanted it more than I did, so they took it from me. But anyway, I digress, and I have been reading since I was probably about 3. My grandmother taught me how to read, and my mom used to read to me as a little girl. Her brother and sorry, her sister and brother-in-law would read to me as a little girl as well, and used to take me to the library on all the time, and I lived for books. That's basically what I did. Books and music and dancing were my life. Still is, except for the dancing part. I'm a bit older now and creak and crack every time I move, so dancing is not really an option for me. But I still like to sing. I still enjoy music, and I've always loved reading ever since I can remember. My first um, books that I can remember reading were the Little Golden books. Everybody knows those. They have the golden cover and they're little, real thin, but they tell like Three Little Pigs, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, things like that. And there was some like The Elephant Doesn't Belong in the House, or The Elephant Wears Shoes, or something about an elephant. That was my favorite book as a child. And of course, the Dr. Seuss books, the Berenstain Bears books, were really my start into reading. Later on, as a teenager, I went through the Nancy Drew series, the Babysitter's Club series, Sweet Valley Twins, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley Sagas, and then about 14-ish or 15, I became bored with the teen section and the YA section. So I asked my aunt, and she took me to the adult section where I started reading mysteries and thrillers and things like that by Mary Higgins Clark, Lillian Jackson Braun, and various others. And of course, my favorite of all time has always been Agatha Christie. For a long time, that's all I would read, would be mysteries and thrillers, and various authors. It didn't matter. Legal courtroom thrillers and things like that by John Grisham, Robert Ludlum, Tom Clancy. The heavy duty writers. But when I started reading digitally back in, I want to say '08, because I got a laptop for school. I was in college at the time, technical school, for accounting and business. And I ended up getting a laptop to help me in my studies. Well, I discovered Amazon. and I discovered the free books available through Amazon Kindle store. So very rarely will I pay for an ebook. If there's a monthly, the first reads that come out every month at the beginning of the month, you get like 6 or 7 books to choose from. Prime members get to read them for free. Well, they get to pick one, sometimes up to 3 books to read for free. And everybody else gets, if you sign up for the newsletter, you get to pay $1.99 per book. And I think that's a great deal. People who don't know about the First Reads program, they have to wait until the book is released, and they have to pay $4.99 for the book. And but I do surveys for fun and just answer a few questions, and sometimes I just have an app running on my phone, and it gives me daily and monthly credits. And so when I build up enough to get an Amazon gift card, that's what I do. I trade my credits for points towards Amazon gift cards, and I use those for the Amazon First Reads books, so I don't have to pay for them myself, which is a great deal. Also, I have subscribed to many newsletters that offer free ebooks in any platform that you use, whether it be Apple iBooks, whether it be Barnes & Noble Nook, Google Play Books, or Amazon Kindle Books, even Kobo Books. They offer all these kinds of books in every kind of genre you can imagine. Literally thousands every day, and the selection is always changing, so there's always something new to explore and discover. So this would be the best way to accumulate a digital collection library without paying a single cent. Also, you may want to check into your local library, because a lot of times they will have a website or an app that you can download and download books from your library without even stepping into the doors. And one thing I forgot to mention, well, I didn't forget to mention, but it was kind of the tail end of this whole spiel, is that I am part of a variety of, I think it's 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure, review sites where the author will send you an e-copy, electronic copy of their book before it's released to the public. You might get it a few weeks beforehand, or you might get it a couple months beforehand, even 3 months to 6 months, even more than that before the release date. Mind you, these books are not in finished form. There may be content error, there may be flow errors, but the story is what you're getting for free. And these authors will send them out. You get to pick. Sometimes you get approved, sometimes you don't. Sometimes there's ones that you can download right away. As far as NetGalley goes, you have to have a certain percentage to be approved for a certain percentage of books. And Edelweiss is another one. Voracious Readers Only is one. Booksprout. And I cannot... Oh, Readers Review Club, I think is what it's called. That you get them also review books. I'm part of these, all of these, and authors also sometimes have their own ARC teams, which means advanced reader copy teams, meaning that they will send out the copy of their book for free before it's published for you to analyze the story and tell them what you thought about it. And then, what else can I say about that? That's basically the intro that I would like to get across, is that there are literally thousands of ebooks on every platform for anybody to download in all different genres, whatever your cup of tea is, that you can get for free on your e-reader. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kindle. It doesn't have to be Nook. It can be any number of ones. It could be some Chinese off-brand if you like. There's millions of ways to get ebooks for free nowadays. So that is my introduction. Now I would like to do a physical TBR. And the thing about this physical TBR is that my cat picked it. I don't normally do TBRs, but she likes to get on my bookcase and push books out. I'm assuming that she thinks I might enjoy to break up the monotony of what I was already planning to read. Because I don't do TBRs, I just go in the order of what they are on the shelf, and that suits me fine. I'd never do a ebook TBR because I have so freaking many of them. Over 20,000, and that is in Amazon alone. Not counting the other apps I use, not counting my review books or anything like that. It's just Amazon books. 25,000 I think it is now, which is a ridiculous amount, but I like options, I like variety, and I can never turn down a free book. So, without further ado, that's enough about me. Let's get into the books. Now, I have something special to share with you. It's not necessarily, well, it is kind of book related, but it's not about a book. It's something I got in the mail today for Mother's Day. And it is this pretty blue cover for my Kindle Paperwhite. And that is what I'm currently reading from the library. Oops, it just changed. But anyway, that is what I'm currently reading from the library. I'll show you in a minute when I do my currently reading. But I thought this was beautiful. And I like that it slides in, like at the top, it slides in and it doesn't snap in, because I've had a problem with the plastic ones breaking and even the magnets coming out on the sides. So I have the one that slides in at the top, and I have the same cover on my Kindle Fire, but it slides in from the side instead of the top. But the concept is the same as this border around it, and it closes and opens and works just fine. So, I want to do a shelfie. I will show you my shelf of books. I'm going to do a physical TBR of my paper books because my cat, like I said, she chose these for me. So she must have had a reason. I don't know who understands cats, but she was on the shelf and she nudged them out a little bit, and even got so excited about one that she threw it on the floor for me to find. But we will do the shelfie first, and then we'll get into the physical TBR, and that will be it for this particular video, and I will upload this as soon as I finish filming the shelfie with the physical TBR, and tell you a little bit about each book that I have acquired either from Goodwill or other places or were given to me. So let's do that, and it sounds like we can make this work. I don't know how this works. I'm just starting, and hopefully you like my content and come back for more. So we will switch the camera around and do that. Let me switch. How do I switch this thing? Well, the last video I just filmed before this one, where I said I would show y'all my bookshelf and the physical TBR that my cat picked. For some reason, the video is sideways, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just learning how to use this video editor. But the content is good. You can see what I'm doing, and you can hear me clearly, except sometimes the sound does cut out. But for the most part, it's clear and able to be understood and everything. It's just the video itself is pointed sideways. And I know somebody's going to say something like that, like, why didn't you edit it? And all this stuff. And I was trying to figure out how to switch it back to where it would be in landscape, but I could not figure out how to do that. So I'm going to get into my physical TBR right now, and then I'm going to do the shelfie. I'm going to have to do that in another clip because I still can't figure out how to turn the camera from the front facing to the rear facing before making the video for, like, I don't know how to switch between the two of them, like go from front facing to rear facing in this app. I'm going to have to figure that out as I go. But here, I'm going to say, I'm going to show y'all my, the books. It shouldn't take too long. I've already tried to film this before, but I guess the file wasn't in the correct format. So I'm going to have to just do it now. The first one that she picked for me is this one. It's a cute little love-inspired romance. It's a faith-based romance featuring there's no swearing in this. I don't think there's any drinking. I know there's no vulgar language. And as far as public affection, the only thing that is seen in these books is maybe hand holding, some kissing, maybe hugging. That is pretty much it. And at the beginning of, I think, every single one of these love-inspired books, even the suspense line, there is a Bible verse in the front of the book. I will have to pause this here so I can take a sip of water. I'm sure you don't want to see the ceiling fan or whatever, so I'm going to just pause this here for a second, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what the book is about via the blurb on the back. So hold on 1 second, let me pause. Okay, all you lovely people, I got a sip of water and I'm back for the synopses of these 4 books that my cat picked for me. And the first one is called Falling for the Single Dad by Lisa Carter. I have never read one of these, one of her books, but I have read several of the Love Inspired line, various categories underneath the Love Inspired suspense. I meant to say Love Inspired inspirational romance. They have the suspense line as well under Love Inspired, but I meant to say inspirational romance. I'm so sorry about that. I'm learning. I'm sorry. Please bear with me. But the back says, finding her way home. After 15 years away, Dr. Carolyn Dewar is nervous about returning to her hometown. The veterinarian might be able to save stranded sea turtles, but she can't convince her dad of her good intentions. And when Carolyn meets darling Izzy Clark, that's a little girl on the front. I was confused about that to start with, but that's the little girl that you see them holding her hands. That's the little girl. Her name is Izzy Clark. She encounters similar suspicion from the young girl's father, and that would be the man in the picture, pictured right there, right there. And former Coast Guard Commander Weston Clark, that's the father, had his life upended by Izzy's mother. I'm assuming she left him. He won't go through the same pain again, but Izzy isn't the only one tumbling head over heels for the enigmatic Carolyn. And if she can release the pain of the past, she just might be the missing piece Weston and his daughter have been searching for. This sounds delightful. I'm sure I will enjoy it. Check it out if you're interested in these kind of things. Falling for the Single Dad, Lisa Carter. Love-inspired, heartwarming, inspirational romance. And these, I don't know where I got this. It looks like it's been used, but it doesn't have a sticker on it like Goodwill would put on it. So it may have been something one of my good Christian family friends gave to me. The next one that my cat chose is a completely different genre of the. I mean, it's similar in the vein of the other two, but this is a supernatural, futuristic detective mystery suspense thriller. I guess I don't know, but that's what I'm calling it. It's got like cyborgs and flying cars and um, like think RoboCop without like autonomous vehicles that can arrest you and stuff. But it's it's really good series. It's by J.D. Robb, and that is the pen name for Nora Roberts. It's called Connections in Death. If you can see that, I know it's backwards. I don't know how to switch that either. But it says Rourke went directly to Rochelle, and because it was his way, put his arms around her. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. She fell to weeping. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do this to himself, to us. He'd never. Because it was her way, Eve stepped forward. This is hard for you, but I need to ask you a couple of questions. When did you last see your brother? It was right before I left to meet Wilson for dinner. He'd just gotten home. He'd worked the night shift. I'm sorry, it says lunch shift, and I was thinking night shift because it's nighttime here. In fact, I didn't even tell y'all what day it was. It's the 9th of May, and at my house right now it is 11:09 p.m. I should be in bed sleeping, but I'm talking to y'all. Y'all are more interesting anyway. But anyway, it says he would work the lunch shift in the happy hour. He had his first night off in 8 nights. He was tired and happy, and he said he was going to clean up, go to a meeting, assuming it's some kind of recovery program. Um, then over to mooch leftovers from Graham. Bunk at Martin's tonight. Okay, I need you to go somewhere and wait. Crack, your place isn't far. Why don't you take Rochelle there? Now, I'm not sure, but I think she's calling him Crack, maybe because he's a. I don't. I don't think it's negative connotation. I think it might be a nickname of some sort. I don't know what that means. I haven't. I've read some of these, a lot of these. Not all of them, of course. There's like 26 books in the series or whatever. That'd be hard to get through all of them, but I've read a lot of these, and it's been, gosh, it's been years since I've read one of these, so I don't know exactly what's going on here, and I tend not to read these in order because I don't even know the order that they go in. I just pick them up, and if I see them, I get them in whatever order. It's fine. Um, it says, "Why don't you take Rochelle there?" No, please. I need to be here. Can't leave him alone. You need to trust her, Ro. You come on home with me, then Dallas is going to come over in a little while. With visible effort, Rochelle pulled herself together, and her eyes went fierce as they met Eve's. He didn't do this to himself. I know the signs like I know my own name. Depression, evasion, withdrawal, agitation, anger. I know what I saw in my brother, and he wasn't using again. Don't you go up there looking at him like he was some loser. Don't you do that. He's a victim one way or the other, and he's mine now. I'll do my best for him. So, I'm not entirely sure from this description. It kind of sounds like it starts in the middle of a idea or conversation, and I don't know the first part of it, so I'll I'll update you as I go along. These I'm reading one now, and I will talk about that in a bit because today is going to be the start of my first ever, ever weekly reading vlog. And I'm reading a paperback now that I'm trying to get through for over a month. I mean, I've been real busy. I hadn't had really that much time to read, but it's slowed down now, so I can I can pick up things and read again. And I'm so happy that it's gotten less crazy and less hectic. But you know, life goes on, and sometimes life happens and interrupts what we really want to do, which is stay in bed and read all day. That's what I want to do, but we can't do that because some of us need to take care of other people and animals and whatever else goes on in a house that you're pretty much the house manager of. So that's what I am and that's what I do. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let's see. That was all for this one. Kind of long. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. The next one. Now this is a Robert B. Parker, and this was what it looked like. Robert B. Parker. I'm sorry. I'm putting my finger over the title. Robert B. Parker, the professional. Now, it says it's a Spencer novel, so I'm assuming that the detective or whoever is named Spencer, and this is part of his series. But Robert B. Parker, if you like Stuart Woods, who also writes mysteries, he writes about the same type of stories as this guy. So they could almost be like ghostwriters of each other because their stories are almost interchangeable. I mean, you read a Stuart Woods, you pretty much read this guy. But I like them both. They're both good and they're easy to get through. They're not too terribly long. I mean, they're a good sized book, but the story is so fast and so fast paced. You just fly through these. This is called. I think I told y'all the professional, right? Didn't I tell y'all? Anyway, the back of it says the wives of some of Boston's wealthiest men have a mutual secret. They've all had an affair with the same cat who's blackmailing them, and Spencer's been hired to stop him. When the wives start dying one by one, Spencer's new case becomes murder. Very, very interesting. And the last one I have that my cat picked was another Robert B. Parker. It's called Split Image. And this one says that, it's a Jesse Stone novel. Now, my aunt loves the Jesse Stone movies. Tom Selleck plays Jesse Stone, and he does a bang up job about, I mean, it's a detective, and he does a very excellent job. I think some of the Jesse Stone movies are on Amazon Prime if you have that, or even on Roku. I'm not sure. We just kind of looked wherever on the free apps or whatever. Even Amazon Prime, we watched some of the movies and they're very good. That's what the Jesse Stone movies are based on the character from these books by Robert B. Parker. The back of the book says a mob hit takes on new meaning for Jesse Stone when a high ranking crime figure is found dead on Paradise Beach. When Sonny Randall comes to town in need of Jesse's help on another case, she and Jesse realize how much they have in common with their victims, their suspects, and with each other. Um, Sounds like another winner for me. Now I will stop here, switch my camera to the back camera, and show y'all the shelf of books that I have. I only have one shelf, but it is cram packed with papers and hardbacks, paperbacks and hardbacks. And I'm planning to read all of them. There's a bunch of Bibles, and I, I use like I am um, very focused on being a good Christian and a good steward of the earth and God's child and all that. So I have a collection of Bibles. I think I have 17 or something like that. But I do my devotionals. I haven't been keeping up with them lately because I've been so busy with life and taking care of everything that I hadn't had time to even stop it to breathe. But I have a bunch of Bibles, and when I do get to do my Bible study, I I I use one Bible for the whole week, and then I rotate them out, so all the Bibles are getting used. Even though I have so many, I do use them all. Each one has its own benefits. Well, there's benefits to all of them, but each one has different study notes, different maps, um, colored maps, black and white maps, all kinds of different things. But that's not what this channel is about. And you're probably going to tune out when I talk about this anyway. So I was just letting y'all know that that is on my shelf. And so I was just warning y'all ahead of time. But right now, I need to stop this video so I can switch the camera angle to the rear camera, and then I will show y'all my shelf. And this whole video, the intro plus this physical TBR, which I may be able to get through these this month, because in the paperback I'm reading right now, I have less than 300 pages left. I'm about 51% through it. And then these I can fly through. So I can probably read these before the 1st of June, maybe into the first week of June. So that will be that. And like I said, I don't really plan TBRs. If my cat knocks off a book off the shelf, I'll let y'all know that and tell you what it is and what it's about, and let y'all know as I read it how I'm doing with it. But we will stop here. This video is already, well, the other two, I don't know how long it's going to be, not sure, but I'm going to stop it here and then add it to this one. So y'all will see me in the next video, which will be part of this whole, I don't know, TBR intro shelfie. That's what I'm doing here. All right, see y'all guys in the next video. Okay, I promised y'all a shelfie tour, and this is my shelf. This is like commentaries and Bibles. Those are my mom's Bibles. Those are my mom's books with the dreams and all that stuff. This right here, the stack, if you can see it from the side, it's mostly fantasy and sci-fi. Those were my stepfather's, who has since passed. I also plan on reading those books as I read everything. And there's some more of my mom's books on there. But these right here, these Harlequins, Lord of the Rings, William Shakespeare, all those books right there, not the ones on the side, but the ones that are sitting where your spine where you can see the spine, those are mine. The ones sitting up there are, again, my mom and stepfather's, and the ones in the back are theirs too. On this shelf, starting with the Harlequins up to the Companion to Narnia, that is 2 books deep. There's more Harlequins behind those. This shelf is some of my Bibles and some more of my stepdad's fantasy books, my Bibles. All these books, let me see if I can angle it properly. All those books are mine, and there's some more books behind them, but they were my stepfather's, and I plan on reading those. Fantasy, sci-fi, stuff like that. This is my bottom shelf. It has a few stacked up books, mishmash of my Bibles and my stepdad's sci-fi. And this shelf right here, if you can see that, you can see those Harlequins. Those are 3 deep. So I have a lot of Harlequins, and I get points for the Harlequins I buy. It's like 100 points per book or something like that. And you can trade them in for ebooks on their website, or physical books to be sent to your house. That is all for this video, and I will see you in my next video, which will be the vlog that will start in a few minutes. Bye for now.